certain stereotypes are placed on people living in lower socioeconomic conditions. People from these conditions are believed to be taking advantage of government assistance. At times, they have been described as lazy and sometimes even as criminal. These stereotypes still seem to be embedded in the public's head, even though there have been studies proving them wrong. According to the study conducted in 2012 by the Department for Work and Pensions, 60% of children in poverty have at least one parent that is in work. When asking local organizations who offer assistance to people in poverty, they seem to have come up with the same solutions.
In spite of what people might think about public housing in Section 8, is that we have people who are here who are wanting to make a change in their lives. And they're people stereotype and say, oh, you live in public housing where you're lazy, you don't do anything, you just getting free rent and all of this. But that's not how it is here. If you would be amazed that out of the 719 units, we have the majority, over half, probably about 3/4 of the people that are at least working. And then that other half, we have quite a few that are disabled, but they're also working. So people aren't just sitting here, eating Cheetos and drinking Pepsi and watching cable and, sitting here and living it up. Our residents are very, very active.
What I can tell you is that we have a lot of families in public housing that are working hard. We have folks that work a couple of jobs, but due to education, due to other family issues, due to health issues, etc., they haven't quite succeeded yet. But it's not for lack of trying or because they're lazy or because they're criminals, etc.
If not most, close to 50% are working, or at least working part-time.
And what we do is we allow them to have lunch or breakfast either at a reduced cost or a free cost if they're eligible. What they're doing is they're meeting a certain socioeconomic status based on household size and income. And so most of them, yes, they do have an income, but this is for a free reduced program. So that's really what's catered to our lower socioeconomic families.
I was unemployed for about 2 years as far as having full-time work. I worked temporary jobs in between. I was receiving unemployment during the weeks that I didn't work, that I didn't have any temporary assignments, and I also used services of some food banks. For unemployment, you have to be actively looking for work. To qualify, you have to have lost your job through no fault of your own.
So my parents are both currently employed. They both work at a nail salon. My dad works usually 6 days a week from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. And my mom works from, my mom works 5 days a week from 10 a.m. to about 8 p.m. or whatever her last client is. And on Sunday she works from 12 to 5.
Contrary to popular belief, some people in these conditions do want to become self-sufficient.
Because we have a program that we created 3 years ago called Reward Residents Empowering Working and Reaching Dreams. And that is a program that while they're on family self-sufficiency, I get them connected in a career that they want to be connected into. What we do is we put them to work in the community. We pay their salary for up to 8 to 10 weeks, depending on how many hours they do. They get 240 hours. And so during that 240 hours, they're getting on-the-job training. And what we hope is that because they're in a career that they're wanting to be in, and they meet the company's goals that, like a company may say you at least have to have a GED. Well, I try to make sure I'm matching what the company wants. so that way, if that employer is so impressed with them, that they end up hiring them. And my philosophy is that I often say is that I try to help you move up, out, and never have to come back. So I'm trying to make sure that I equip you with everything that you need to be able to be successful out there, outside of public housing.
I'm to volunteer. I volunteer here and there in the community. Then I ran up on Miss Cornella, and she was telling me about her program. So I joined her program, and from there I took on the job here, driving the van for the children, you know, taking them back and forth to school. And then after that, I was promoted to assistant coordinator.
What we found is our low-income people, they want to live in safe neighborhoods. They want their kids to be able to ride a bike and not worry. And we find as we encourage people to re-enter the workforce, to get additional training and to develop a plan for self-sufficiency, that when you give people opportunities to make good choices, they're more likely to make good choices than bad choices. If someone doesn't have any opportunities to make good choices or to see a light at the end of the tunnel that they can work towards having the things everybody else has, then that's when bad choices get made. That's when despair sets in. So.
We make approximately $35,000 a year now.
Been back to work about a year and a half. I work full-time, 40 hours or more.
Most of the time, services, thought only to be available to people in lower socioeconomic conditions, are actually available to anyone.
Our social economic status for our members can be, you know, we have some members that the parents are middle class families, and then we have some very low income families. We like to diversify our SES because we strongly believe that kids that are in diverse environments around different types of nationalities with families from different backgrounds, we all learn and grow from each other. So there isn't really one pigeonhole of a type of Boys and Girls Club kid at all.
I know that we service 32 counties and we feed about 105 to 110,000 people a month. So, and that's throughout those 32 counties. It's kind of like feeding all of Columbia.
Now we're serving more than 10,000. I think it was almost 12,000 last month. People every month.
I'm a data entry person, so if a person in Boone County wants to sign up to receive food on a monthly basis, we have a form that they have to fill out with all of their information on it. I then take that information and put it into the computer. The form is just basically who they are, where they live, and who lives with them. Then there's a general information about whether or not they receive food stamps and a few other things that we take statistics on. So they just have to be a Boone County resident. We don't go by any kind of financial criteria. There's no ceiling or anything.
Usually, the general public knows very little about the organizations that are associated with people in lower socioeconomic conditions.
Good. Our central pantry is certainly our largest agency here in town. We receive food here and then we distribute it out to our agencies all over our 32 counties.
The process is they come in and then it's set up like a grocery store, so we let them use a shopping cart, and then they can use bags or boxes and go around and they get stuff off the shelves according to how many people are in their house. And then some things there's really no limit to, so if you really love plums, you can take pretty much all the plums you want when we have them. They can come once a month, yeah, and then the limit is based on how many people are in your house. So like for the corn here, it says 2 cans per person. So they could, if they had 4 in your house, you could get 8 cans of corn. And you would do that for every product as you went around.
Boys and Girls Club is designed to be affordable after-school programming for kids within the community that need us most. And so ideally, we offer such intricate programming for kids between grades all the way from kindergarten through 12th grade to keep them involved in positive activities and not on the streets.
Well, the Youth Community Coalition is the director of the coalition. I help to oversee the program, or the coalition, which is actually a group of about 70 organizations, a network that is working to decrease substance abuse and promote healthy behaviors among youth in Columbia. We use a positive youth development framework, focusing on 5 promises, making sure that every child in Columbia has access to caring adults, safe places, a healthy start, an effective education, and opportunities to serve others.
This is a after-school program to benefit low-income kids. It started off with kids from Housing Authority area, then it just branched out that any kid can come down here. They help with homework, field trips, social skills. They basically bridge between home and public schools to try to bridge that gap in between. It's a free program for them to bring kids to, and don't have to worry about childcare or where they're going to put their kids, or if they have the funding to put their kids, and they know the kids in a safe environment. So it would really, really help working parents because we're here all day, and it's free. So
oftentimes the media misportrays people of lower socioeconomic status. You'll see more inclination for the media to report people involved in criminal activity, more inclination of people to report people that are involved in somehow cheating the system or not trying to take advantage of supports and opportunities that are being there, portrayed as lazy. It's not a story to show, well, here's normal people living a normal life trying to make a better life for themselves and their kids. It's much easier to sensationalize crime and poverty, etc.